welcome to Books and Crafts. I'm Angie, and this is Wendy, and we are with Ella Publishing Company.
Okay, and we are so excited about what we're going to show you today. We're going to show some really easy ways to make bookmarks. And you know, you usually need a few bookmarks around, and really, I have a tendency to read a couple books at a time. Is that normal?
You know, I think it varies. I tend to try to get through one book before starting the next one, but I guess I'll put it this way. I divide by genre. If I'm reading one fiction book, I won't typically pick up another fiction book, but I can read a fiction book and a business book and maybe a self-help book, all kind of concurrently, but I tend to not, read multiple of the same genre.
And I will have books downstairs. I'll have a book upstairs. I'll have a book in the car. Okay, that's sounding a little obsessive, but I do tend to read a couple of books at a time. And I don't know what you do, but it's interesting to think about your reading habits and how different and unique they are. So, bookmarks. The first one we're going to show you is super, super easy, and you can do it with kids, you can do it with yourself, and you can crank these out in no time.
So if you do read several books at a time, you'll have plenty of bookmarks,
yes.
And you won't have to use, your library receipt
I
or
use that all the time, or napkins,
or a square of toilet paper, or whatever it is you use.
Yeah, I haven't done that yet.
To mark your place in a book.
Yeah, because there is this whole idea that you shouldn't crease the pages because that takes away from the book. Sorry. Okay, so right here is this really cute bookmark, and you can see how it shows right at the top of the book, and it's just a paper clip.
I love that.
And all you really need to do with these, and here's some other examples, I think it's really cute, is to tie a bow, and then you can leave it plain like this floral one, or you can add a button or a brad or something to it.
I love it, and I love how you found cute decorative paper clips to start with.
Yes, and funny thing, if you have, your regular silver paper clips, if you have some paint pens, you can color them really easily with your paint pen.
Great tip.
And probably a Sharpie too. Okay, so the whole concept is you just take your ribbon, and all you're going to do is tie a very simple small bow. And if you're particular about your bow, give yourself a couple different times to try it. For me, that totally works.
That's a perfect bow.
And then, you're going to take your paper clip, and we'll move these out of the way. And the easiest way that I have found to hook it is to fold it up like so, and then depending on which one you want for the front or the back, actually I think that kind of looks cute for the front.
That's perfect.
You're just going to thread this little end right here. Okay, can you see how that is threaded? And then I'm going to refold it like so. And then I'm going to take a glue gun or some sort of strong adhesive to hold that in place like so. And then all you need to do on the front is adjust your paper clip till you like it. And then you're just going to adhere with glue dot or your glue gun a cute little accent. And
so a button or a brad,
yes.
or
seriously,
like that.
Here's a button right here that kind of goes with the same color as the paper clip. So really, you have all of these cute little accents, and you could even use like scraps of fabric to make these. And once you start, they're really addicting and fun to use. And then, they're fun to make and then even funner to use. So
and I think it would even be fun just to set a little jar of these somewhere in your house and just grab one when you need them, because they're a darling little accent.
They work well, and you can use them for magazines or fiction books or whatever it is you're reading at the time. So these are a favorite of mine for sure. You'll have to try them out.
So bookmark number 1. That's awesome.
Yes. Okay, and let me show you another bookmark that I like. And the idea behind it, so you can kind of see these two right here.
Yeah, peeking out the top here,
is that it's just a sandwiched piece of chipboard.
So folded in half.
Folded in half. So if you look at this, you can see there's a little curve. And that's because when I glued the paper on, I just slid a pencil or a pen in there to kind of add the curve.
Oh, to give it some space.
Yes, and then all you need to do is put some magnets on the inside, and so you've got your way to keep it closed. And you can just have so much fun with these. Here's one that I made that's bigger, and maybe would be for like a fun coffee table book or something. And I did find that if you do add a dimensional embellishment, you want to know that your book, it will only go down.
Oh, so you want to put it towards the top of your bookmark.
Like this
so
one,
that your book will still close.
You can go all the way down. So these are really, really easy to make, and they're another favorite bookmark, and I think you can get creative and crafty with these ones. But I'm excited because Angie has one that uses scraps. So show us yours.
You know, if you're a scrapbooker or a paper crafter, you probably have a lot of scraps. Here is my storage bin for scraps, and I just piled them all in here without regard to color or pattern. And I pull from this stash all the time. And I love that it's clear because it sits just in my scrapbook space and I can see patterns that I might want to use. So what I did is create a bunch of paper bookmarks that are stitched together with my sewing machine by pulling through just all of these different scraps and cutting them to size. And I've kind of done this. It's a mindless project that can keep your hands busy.
Oh, I like that.
It's just fun.
Yes.
So here's the finished product. And I actually got this idea because a friend of mine gave me a book for a birthday or Christmas, and she had one of these bookmarks in the book, and I found myself using it over and over again. While I tend to lose bookmarks or just use scraps of paper, this is one that I managed to hang on to, and it was really sturdy. So basically all it is 2 pieces of pattern paper that are sandwiched together with an extra piece of pattern paper, just with a glue stick glued to the top, and then a little circle punched accent at the top. Now you can add a little initial or something here.
Or a message or a note.
Yeah, anything like that, which is fun. So to do this assembly line style, what I've done is just, maybe I'll have a movie on, and I just cut a whole bunch of the bases just out of all the extra patterns I have.
How do you decide which go together?
Well, that's the fun part. I just like to sit and just, pick through them and see, I kind of like, these are kind of different styles, but they have a common color.
Yes.
So I might sandwich these back to back. In fact, actually, this one's already glued. This one is the back side of this. But so this is one that I obviously previously thought went well together. And so I will cut my leftover pieces and just a big pile of them, and then I'll sit and have fun matching them like you might do with fabric. It's just fun to see how patterns work together, and it's great practice for if you're doing scrapbook pages or cards in the future.
Show how it goes in, because when I first saw this, I thought that the ribbon went at the top, but that's not the case, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you stick it in, and the whole bookmark's hidden in there, but how fun. You have a little...
Yes, I like that.
Little bit of ribbon.
Can hang out.
And you know exactly where it is.
Yes. Oh, I like it. I like it. That's an awesome idea. And fun to use your scraps of paper and or fabric.
Yes.
You could just do whatever.
And this is the first time I'd ever actually used a sewing machine on paper. And I've been making these for years, but the sewing machine is so fun to make. It makes that little punching sound through the paper. So if you haven't ever stitched on paper, I encourage you to try it. And set aside a different needle for your sewing machine so that for your paper, so that your fabric ones stay sharp.
Okay, and let me show you the last one, which I just have found to be my favorite, because I love to buy the pattern papers in the 6x6 size. And one of the reasons why is you get these reduced scale, and by that I mean, these are smaller circles than they would be if they were a 12-inch. And so you get a reduced size pattern, and I'll show you what they look like when they're finished, because that might just really help. And you can also have a big variety. So here's one that is, I'm going to put it right, actually, let me grab this one. So here's what it looks like when it's in, and you don't even really know there's a bookmark in there. It's kind of secret. But when you open it up, your bookmark is right here, and the elastic goes all the way around.
Oh, it wraps around the outside of the book.
Yes, so it's one way to keep your page marked with maybe not having to show your actual bookmark. And you can also use your scraps of paper for this. And what I have found that works really good is you're going to use an elastic, and you can use just any type of elastic that you have laying around. I found that the thinner elastic just seems to look a little bit better. But it's funny, you can buy elastic in white or black at your craft store. And I thought, well, I needed to add some color, and that is so easy to do because you can use, maybe your spray mist or whatever type of coloring products you have on hand. And I happen to have these just like ink refills, I guess is what they are, alcohol ink, and all you need is just to kind of drizzle.
Oh, look at how that absorbs. That's amazing.
And you can color it. And you know, if you wanted to, you could also use like your craft paint and mix it with some textile medium, and that would work also. So this allows you to kind of get more vibrant colors. If you know, certainly the white works, but sometimes you just want to look at that cute blue
just
instead
have a little
of a
pop
white
of
one.
color.
Yes. And here's another one that I'll take it out so it's easier to look at. You can use them plain as is, just like this, or you can just add a little sticker. You know, I put the word read there. You can dress them up however you want.
And certainly for this kind of bookmark, you want to use flat accents, because this is going to be contained entirely inside the pages of your book.
And all you need to do is, I have found that you just take your piece of chipboard and you cut it to size, and I happen to like the 2 by 6 size, and then you adhere your paper to the front and back, and before you glue everything down, you glue a strip of elastic here, or an end of elastic here, put your paper on, and you do the same with the back. So then it's nice and secure, and you're all ready to go. And if you want to, you know, you could even paint it. It doesn't have to be paper on top of it, but this serves as your base.
What a fun project. I think I'm going to have to go home and use my scraps to make a few of these elastic ones. I love it.
Okay, so it's time for book picks.
Book picks, our favorite part of the show. So today we're going to share 2 books. At the end of every show, we just like to tell you one of our favorite books that we've been reading recently that we think you should give a look at and try out. This is a book called The Word Snoop by Ursula Dubosarski. I'm just guessing there. And I think the reason that maybe she was so interested in language is because she's got the whole alphabet in her name.
Oh my goodness, yes.
But this book is basically a tour through the English language. So you can read, find out what a spoonerism is, find out, read
what
about
is it?
double speak. And there's all kinds of fun, don't ask me right now, because I can't remember because I'm on the spot. But the book is just full of cute illustrations. It's meant for kids, but it's a great way to read interesting tidbits about the English language, and starting from where the alphabet came from, and all the way to texting. It goes from, you know, the beginning of time right up to the present day. So that is a fun book for kids or adults alike.
Yes, I love that suggestion. Now, I want to remind everyone that books are a great way to kind of learn about something new, whether it's, you know, words or crafting or jewelry. And I happen to I don't really make a lot of jewelry, but I'm very intrigued by the process. And so I checked this book out by Sherry Hobb, who has a lot of jewelry books, and I love that it's upcycled. And I think that this, if you can see this bracelet right here on the cover, I had to know what that was made out of. I had to read to find out. And it's made out of water bottles. It's like you shrink it down. Anyway, you're just going to have to read. This is a great book for anybody who likes crafting, because even if you're not going to use the techniques for jewelry, you can certainly use them in crafting. And I think it's great to expose your brain to different types of, you know, ideas, just to keep you excited. And so that's my book pick for the day.
I love it. So check those out, and thank you for joining us today. We hope to see you next week for more books and crafts.
Thank you.